can't you sit up in his room? Heart sick and eyes filled up with blue. I don't know.
We now come to the season of the werewolves, because True Blood Season 3 just got done rewatching it, and before getting into this, it's not like I remembered Season 3 being bad or anything. I just figured, okay, rewatching this whole series and how much I loved rewatching Season 2, my favorite season, I was thinking they're going to have trouble following that. But, and I will admit, it's not better than Season 2, but still, I enjoyed this season a lot. Now, we see at the beginning, because in the finale of Season 2, Bill was kidnapped, abducted by, we find out, werewolves. And these werewolves work for Russell Edgington, who is the king of Mississippi. He had Bill kidnapped because he wants Bill to work for him as the sheriff of this town. And seeing Sookie so desperate to look for Bill, I appreciated that, because her sort of in a way turning down his marriage proposal I thought was a little messed up. So seeing that she did in fact love Bill and she just got nervous and cold feet, and now you see just how much in love she is with him and how much she's willing to do everything to find him. There's one moment where she's talking to Jason, her brother, and she mentions how she just longs. She hopes for the day for him to come back into her house and just say, Sookie, which I enjoyed that. We meet this brand new character, Alcide, who is a werewolf. And he comes in under the call of Eric Northman, and he is here to help Sookie, protect her while Bill is gone. And I liked Alcide. I mean, I guess you sort of sit there and go, do we need yet another character to fall in love with Sookie, or to be somebody who would be there for Sookie whenever she wants? I always thought that if Sookie was not going to be with Bill or Eric, I thought Sam would have been the person for her to at least try to date. But no, these two kind of stay as far apart from each other as ever before. And Alcide, you find out that he has his own messed up past with Debbie, his ex-fiancée, who's now addicted to vampire blood. She's joined this group of werewolves who are also on the V. Probably the most interesting thing, at least in my opinion, going on in this season is Eric wanting revenge. Eric wants vengeance for what happened to his whole family back when he was human years ago. He was a Viking, and his whole family was massacred by werewolves. And for all this time, Eric has been looking for the person responsible for sicking these wolves on his family, and he finds out not only was it a vampire, but it's Russell Edgington himself. His plan to try to get to Russell, because you can't just go up to Russell and fight him one-on-one. Russell is 3 times his age, and he's too strong, powerful. It's not going to go down like that. So to see him have to coerce, have to scheme, plan, plot, and work his way into his trust to get to him, all of that I enjoyed a lot. And the actor who plays Russell Edgington, he's so great. He's so charismatic. He's so fun to watch. There's a moment where he becomes so incensed, enraged, that he just says, fuck the authority. Not only that, but fuck the Vampire League, who's trying to create this good, wholesome image of vampires on TV to have us be okay with them in society. No, he goes on live TV on the news and rips the spine of the news anchor out and basically tells the world that not only is he going to eat them, he's going to eat their children. It's one of my favorite scenes in this season. Now let's move on to Tara, because Tara has gone through some shit. And if you thought it was bad in season 2, you haven't seen anything yet. I mean, you see at the beginning, she's suicidal. She's so distraught over what happened to Eggs. And just when she's trying to come back from that, just when she's trying to cope and deal with it, she gets involved with a vampire named Franklin. Franklin is a complete psychopath, and he's sent here to look for Sookie and Bill, but when he gets involved with Tara, it's like he becomes obsessed, in love, just crazy in love. He even kidnaps Tara, ties her up, duct tapes her, rapes her, bites her. He says he wants to turn her into a vampire for himself. Again, Tara just goes through some of the worst shit ever. And then when Bill sees that Tara is in the same house with all these other vampires, and she pleads for Bill to save her, Bill has to keep up the front in front of Russell Edgington that he doesn't care about humans and all that, so he says no. And Tara is left to fend for herself, and especially that moment, I felt so bad for her. Just like, you can't sink this character any lower. And it also fuels the fire of just why she hates vampires. She now has a legit personal reason to do so. And Jason Stackhouse, who was the one who killed Eggs at the end of season 2, he's messed up. He keeps seeing bullet holes in people's heads, and he has so much guilt on it. But Andy Belfour, he took the responsibility of it. He said he did it. And sure enough, the sheriff quits being the sheriff because he's like, I'm sick of dead bodies turning up left and right. He's too old for the shit. So Andy Belfour becomes the sheriff. And I enjoyed that because I really like this actor and the character Andy, and to see him in a prominent role now. But obviously it came at a big cost. And Jason, he gets the bug to want to become a cop. And I found all of that funny and interesting because he doesn't know anything to take the test. It's not even really a possibility for him to become a cop. But then he gets involved with this girl, Crystal. Crystal is probably the most redneck, white trash character that they could have brought onto this show. And I get what they were doing at first, where it's like Jason sees her, he feels bad for her, he knows that she's good, but she's just caught in a fucked up situation. Sure, all of that might be true, but she was just so dumb. I just didn't care about her. She just kept running back to the same people who treated her like shit, and I know that's kind of realistic as far as, you know, she's going to be loyal to her family, her father, her fiance, even though they treat her horrible. But I just thought, wow, this character, I don't even want Jason to be with her. And then you find out she's a werepanther. Wow. Sam's whole thing this season was to find out about his family. And I like the fact that Sam had his own plot going on because he deserves it, and I did want to know more about him. I think the problem is that when you find his parents, his family, his brother, Tommy included, they're assholes. They're unlikable people, they're despicable people. It's cool that they're shifters also, but it's like his parents are so low-life, despicable. They make their son Tommy get involved with dogfighting to earn money. But even Tommy is such a prick, a little shit. He's so ungrateful. And there's a moment where even after everything Sam's done for him, giving him a job, giving him a house that he's probably not paying for, Tommy tries to steal Sam's money. More than once. And I'm like, Sam, he has to be a saint to deal with this. And then you see some flashbacks of Sam in his past and just some of the heinous, fucked up things he's done. And I like to see that he's overcome that. He's become a better person. But the fact that he has that dark side to him, I don't blame him for just kind of going off the times that he does. And speaking of flashbacks, I really enjoyed the flashback of Bill when he went back to go see his family, because we thought that he stayed away from them this whole time. But no, we saw that he went to see his family when he found out about his son who died from a disease. So he went back to bury the son, and the wife finds out Bill is a vampire. And it's this whole thing because Lorena comes in, and just all of that just made Bill's character so much more tragic than he already was, if that was possible. And Lorena's obsession with Bill, how she just can't let him go, is insane. It's creepy. Now, insane and creepy. Lafayette starts dating this character, Jesus, who's a nurse that you see Lafayette's crazy mother in a mental institution. And all of that I didn't have a problem with. I actually found it interesting that he found someone to date for real. But then, when the two of them do V for the first time, you find out that Jesus is involved with some dark magic stuff, that he's actually a witch, and somehow this experience is bringing out this thing inside Lafayette that he didn't know about. And that's where it starts to get a little weird. There's a moment where Bill almost dies. His blood is nearly drained. Sookie is trying to save his life. They're trying to take him out of this place. And then Bill, starving, loses control, bites Sookie, and nearly kills her. Nearly drains all of her blood. And so much as far as how dangerous Bill can really be when he can't control himself, and how much in danger Sookie is in a relationship with him. I think I enjoyed that more because it shouldn't be easy for her to date a vampire. There should be a lot of obstacles like this. And seeing Sookie on her deathbed was sad to see. And then you see her meet up with these other... At first, the speculation of Sookie being an angel, I liked. But we actually find out that she's a fairy. And I think her reaction of, I'm a fucking fairy? How lame. Like, that's her reaction, and I love that. But I find it interesting that she's a fairy, the whole, how intoxicating her blood is, and how they're a small race, and the powers that they have. It's definitely something that when it was introduced, I was curious to find out more about, and the whole place where they come from, and how vampires need their blood because they could become daywalkers. Like when Bill has all of Sookie's blood and he gets kicked out into the sun by Tara and he's not burning from the sun, all of that was fascinating. But the way the season ends, where you find out, thanks to Eric, that Bill in some ways tricked Sookie into falling in love with him. I mean, he was sent to Sookie by the Queen, Sophie Ann, to get her for the Queen because the Queen knew that Sookie was different. So Bill came to her, and then I guess he started to fall in love with her himself, and he let her get beaten up in that first episode so that she could drink his blood and fall in love with him. And all of that just, it turns that first season into, especially their relationship, it makes it so much more layered and almost crazy to think that this was Bill's original intentions, and to see him sort of completely shut out of her life by the end of it and trying to atone for everything that he has been a part of and done. That's why I enjoyed Season 3 as much as I did. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Season 3? And not only that, if you had to say, who should Sookie be with? Bill? Eric? Or Alcide? Sam, I guess, at this point, the options are racking up a little bit. Anyways, guys, again, I enjoyed Season 3. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!